Ladies and gentlemen, Abraham, hello. How you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Washington Wizards basketball stream in the worst period of the NBA offseason. What's going on, Mark G? In the worst period of the offseason, during the driest time in the world, where there's absolutely nothing going on, there's barely anything to talk about. What's going on, Lior? These are the dog days of the NBA offseason, and I hate it. I truly hate this period of the offseason. I dearly wish we could get to some important basketball stuff where we could actually talk more about things. But how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a good morning, or don't know what time it is and everywhere. But it's like evening time over here, almost noon. So today, on today's talking list, Mark, you said Premier Soccer League back, so I'm managing. Yeah, like I need to get into something. I watch a lot of baseball though. I like baseball. So like baseball, I manage like watching baseball, but you know, I'm not a baseball channel. But I mean like baseball, that's how I'm kind of managing right now. Football is about to come back, which is lit. Football is about to come back. So that's a beautiful thing. Football is my favorite sport. So that's beautiful. I think the Hall of Fame game is today or something like that. The Jaguars and Raiders, I think that's today. So that's bad. But in Washington Wizards land, Kristaps Porzingis dropped some training footage. So that's nice to see. We got some more training footage from him. I could show that on Instagram. That's nice to see. Looks like, you know, all our guys are working, obviously. As we see KP. Let me take myself off the screen. You know, KP in the lab. Doing his thing, training. Working. Love to see it. Love to see all that. Hopefully, this is stuff we can see during the season, like we saw towards the ending of the season when he was with the Wizards. So we got some, you know, we've been getting some footage from Deni in the offseason. We got some footage from KP in the offseason as I spill my drink. Nice. Good to see the work. Good to see the work. This is the type of content. This is right here. This is called off-season content. This is off-season content. But yeah, that's what we got. Let me fix myself first. That's what we got. Teaser, I just want to see Johnny hit some shots in the lab. The lab quotation marks. Eden, you said Israel national team has a game this Monday against Auburn University. They will be playing. We watch that. I keep hearing about that. What time does that come on? What's going on, Donovan? What time does that come on? Cause I don't know. Cause I work on Mondays. I don't know what time that comes on. If it comes on, like really, I mean, well, it's Auburn, so I assume they're in Auburn. So if it's when I'm working, then no, I won't be able to watch. If it's after I'm working, I may like hop on stream, you know, just to have something to talk about. Because I mean, and have something like a little watch party. If I don't have to, I mean, if it's easy to watch it, or if I have to go jump through hoops to try to watch it, I don't know. But I don't even know what time that game comes on. But yeah, I know a lot of the Diddy fans, they've told me about that before. I've known for a little while that they were playing Auburn. I mean, playing at... Let me look it up. Deni's going to be playing in this? Deni's going to be playing in this? Question mark? You said I think it's 12 p.m. Central Time. He said nice Nets jersey. Nets jersey is crazy. TZ said, what you think Deni will average this season? Let me look at what Deni averaged last season. Steve, what's going on with you, brother? What's going on? He said, yeah, he will. Deni last season averaged 8, 2, and 5. With the increase that I'm expecting from Deni from the 3-point line, I would like to see Deni average, let's say he averaged 6 points his rookie year, jumped up to 8 his second year. Let's see if we can get, with an improved 3-point shooting, let's see if we can get a 2 to 3 point jump this season. Let's say average around 10.5, 10.5, maybe 11 points per game. Let's see. I think he can average, if he's getting more playing time, I think he can average around 6 rebounds. So around 10 and a half, maybe 11 points, 6 rebounds. He averaged 2 assists. Maybe, I think that's around, it may stay around the same, maybe 2.5, maybe 3 assists. So 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 to 3 assists. 10 to 11 points, 2 to 3 assists, and 6 rebounds. I think that's the average. You said it's 10 Central Time. Does that come on like TV, like ESPN, or do you guys know what channel that comes on? I'm trying to see if it comes on TV so I can easily watch it. Well, you said 12 p.m. Central. Central is only 1 hour behind Eastern. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be able to watch it. I'm going to be at work because that's 1 p.m. my time, and I'm going to be in the dead of work. You said it's on ESPN. They're talking about the Israel national team that Deni's going to be playing with, and they're going to be playing Monday against Auburn University. But if it comes on at 12 Central, which is 1 Eastern time, then I'm not going to be able to watch because I'm going to be at work. Matt said Simba. He's more interested in what's going on outside. In everything the light touches. You like that Lion King reference? The cat's name is Simba. Everything the light touches or something like that. Ain't that what they said? Jay, what's going on? You said we need a support group for long-time suffering Wizards fans. Ted should pick up our tab weekly at a local bar and let us drown in our sorrows. Yeah, I mean, a lot of Wizards fans there's been a lot of Wizards fans that's been going through it longer than me, man. They've been going through it longer than me. You know, and I feel like I've been going through it. We've all been going through it for a little bit. But, you know, hopefully there's a light at the end of the tunnel, as they say. Hopefully there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But yeah, guys, I think as far as the Wizards, man, I don't think we do anything. I think we come into the season with this team. I don't think we get Colin Sexton. I don't think we get John Collins. I think we come into the season with this team. Could be wrong, but I think the roster we have is the roster we have. And we try to rock out with it like that, man. We try to rock out with it like that. I think one of the bigger question is, I think the biggest question is the fact that where will the Wizards be during the off season? Where will the Wizards be in the off season? I think that's the biggest question. I think the biggest question would be where will I said in the off season at the trade deadline? Where will the Wizards be by the trade deadline? Will they be Well, I don't know if they'll be sellers, but will they be, you know, will they be cool or will they not be? I think that's the biggest key. I 100% think that's the biggest key for them, because if they're doing good, I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be all right for sure. If not, I don't know, man. I don't know. So a lot hinges on what they do throughout the season and where they'll be at by the trade deadline. If we go into the season with the roster currently, where they're at. Where are we going currently where we're at? NBA, I did see your Kuzma edit as well. Do you use After Effects? Is that what it's called? Ain't that the program it's called? After Effects or something like that? Is that what you use? You know, because you had all the colors and the electricity and whatnot. Is that what you do? CapCut. So when you make your shorts, like, is there, because you have to do like do you have to do like a specific like ratio to make it a short and a certain time to make it a short? Because I be trying to do like shorts, but I know there's like certain ways that you have to do to make it be an actual short, I believe. Jay, thank you for the 5, my guy. I appreciate you, my man. You said something, bro. Like this before. I go back to the Bullets days, but for real, I look like our squad. We can be sneaky good on being a well-rounded team, not star-studded. Like, I know my boy Jay, more on the positive side, you know, likes the team we have together, likes the team they currently have constructed. You know, I'm cool with that. You know, I think the team's cool, and if they're playing well by All-Star break, I think they'll definitely try to make a move for, you know, somebody. I don't know who. Nobody knows who's available by the trade deadline at times. But I definitely feel like if, you know, they're competitive by the All-Star break, they can definitely add somebody. And who knows what star may be more available at that time, and whatnot. So, but thank you for the 5, Jay, my man. Big 5. Which also brings me to, because I haven't said it, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button for your boy. Helps out a lot. If you want to subscribe, I said subscribe. If you want to join as a channel member and join the Wizards family, help me reach that 20-member goal, you can click the link that I have posted in the description. I said this is the description. In the chat, that I have pinned in the chat. Or if you want to donate, like my boy Jay just did, and support in that way, you can also do that. B-boy, what's going on with you? You need to be on Warzone later. Yeah, you said it has to be 59 seconds or less. Okay, 59 seconds or less. Makes sense. Okay. Stevie said, why they keep saying if Russ get brought out, he's coming back to the Wizards. It's killing me how they want a home for Russ so bad. He ain't coming to DC after he told Brad to leave. I don't think Russ will come back to DC. I don't. I mean, maybe people feel like maybe he's like desperate enough, like he needs to rebuild his image and whatnot. But he left, and I don't know why people just refuse to bring up this point when they keep talking about Russ coming back. He literally tried to get Brad to leave with him. Like, I don't know if to come to the Lakers as well, but he literally tried to get Brad to leave with him. He told Brad to ask for a trade after he asked for a trade. He basically told Cuz to save himself. So I don't know why people are so keen on the Wizards after a buyout or some kind of buyout, him coming back. The dude tried to get Brad to leave when he left. So I don't know if he would even want to come back. Uh, Weez, what's going on with you, brother? You said I take Russ. I take Russ back about now. Oh no, man, I'm not too hype on Russ. And maybe said the format has to be 9 by 16. Okay. Cause yeah, I definitely like want to do shorts of like when there's a clip on the stream. I definitely want to do shorts. You know. Because like I think you've said it before. Like it does help out with views and whatnot. And I mean like you got good views on a lot of your shorts too. Like the Kobe dunk, the rain the NBA playoffs and whatnot. Like you get good views. Definitely off the shorts too, NBA. Biggie said Russ value is plummeting every day. By next year, he's going to be worth $5 million at a year at best. Yeah, right. And I don't know. I don't know how he's going to get off the Lakers, but he needs to get off the Lakers, bro, because Darvin Ham wants the ball in LeBron's hands all the time, majority of the time. Russ is not an off-ball player. Russ is a high-usage point guard. He needs the ball in his hands. He needs to be the guy who's running the show. He's not an off-ball player. You cannot turn a player who's been an on-ball, high-usage player their whole career into an off-ball guy. A mainly off-ball guy with slight ball handling, actual point guard duties. Because we all know LeBron's the real point guard of that team. So it's tough. It's really tough. I don't know how that's going to work out for him. I hope it does. So we'll see. You know, we'll see as far as Russ and the Lakers fit. But I don't think it's going to get any better at all. May said, do you think Bill will leave in the future or will he retire a Wiz? It's tough to say he'll retire a Wiz because it's hard to see guys retire on the same team. You know? I mean, maybe he can come back and retire as a Wiz or like, you know, like even because even D Wade left Miami. You know, D Wade even left Miami, and we all thought D Wade was a type of guy who would be a lifer in Miami. He even left. You know, came back and retired as a Heat. But it's hard for people to be a Kobe or Dirk, guys who, or Tim Duncan, guys just staying with just one main franchise and just being there and retiring there. And usually these players are like at a certain level. Brad isn't on Dirk's level. Brad isn't on who's the other player I just said? A Tim Duncan level. Brad isn't on any of these, you know, a Kobe level. So I think there's a high chance that Brad does not stay with the Wizards like for however long. I think he does eventually leave. I 100% think he eventually leaves. I mean, unless the Wizards shock us all and just start becoming contenders in series, like a serious team. But I don't predict that, you know, consistency in our future. So I don't know. I can definitely see Brad being gone in the future. For sure. Weez, you said Bill is gonna request a trade in a year or two since the team can't get it right unless they prove me wrong. Yeah, I definitely think, you know, he's gonna give it some time. I think he's gonna give it some time. I think he understands like the aspects of where the team's at right now and the logistics of the team. I think he'll give it some time, but I do think if they never get it together, he's going to be gone. He's going to actually be gone, 100%, 100%. Steve, you said I think Kobe was the last person to retire with the team. Kobe was after Dirk. I thought Dirk was the last. I thought Dirk was after Kobe. Kobe was after Dirk? Dirk left before Kobe left? Kobe left before Dirk left, right? I thought it was Dirk. Also, I don't know how many of you guys checked out any of the highlights or whatnot on of the Padres and what they were doing to the Rockies. Granted, it's the Rockies, so grain of salt. But that lineup looked crazy. It looked crazy on paper, and it looked crazy last night. NBA East, I still can't believe Bill Russell's gone. Yeah, definitely sad. Definitely sad, man. Zay, you said what's up with the Wizards? Absolutely nothing. We in the dog days of the off season, bro. Minimal content. You got sports shows on TV talking about Kevin Durant TikToks and whatnot. We at that point in the off season where you just stretching for content, NBA content. You stretching and you reaching for it. You just dying to get any kind of inkling of NBA content. And when you're covering a specific team and a team like the Wizards, oh, it's even worse. It's even worse trying to find content to talk about. I'm just trying to stay consistent, you know? Matt, you said, do you think Wes Unseld is looking like a promising coach? I think Wes has potential. He had a lot of issues last season, but he's a rookie. Just like we talk about rookie players and we say, hey, he's a rookie. And we talk about guys that are young coming in. We say, hey, let's give him, a couple years or a few years. Let's give him some time. It's the same with a coach. It's the same with a rookie coach. It was his rookie season. A lot of mistakes were expected to be made. A lot of questionable decisions were expected to probably be made, which they were. But, he got a nice little coaching staff. He got James Posey, nice little experienced assistant coach. See if he can, turn it around a little bit in the second season. Ghana, you said, what are your expectations for the Wizards' play style? I think the Wizards are going to be a team that relies on ball movement and less of ISO. Obviously ISO is a big part of a lot of teams. You know what I mean? Like when it comes down to it in crunch time, a lot of the times a lot of stuff resorts to ISO because naturally, especially if you have a star player. But I think they're going to be a team that focuses on, moving the ball, not having the ball stick, getting it to their star guys and Brad and KP and letting them go to work. And then defense, I think they're trying to establish a defensive identity. I think they want to, lock in on defense and let that defense transition into offense. I do think they're going to be a team that wants to run. I don't think they're going to want their pace to be as slow as it was at times last season. They started to pick up the pace eventually, and then they added Ish Smith, who's a guy who runs and goes. But we all know, like, that first half of the season with Spencer and all that, the Wizards' pace was very slow. They were a very slow team, and we aren't accustomed to that, because we're so used to Scott Brooks, Russ, John, and just running and gunning. So I think offensively, they're going to be focused on guys moving the ball, ball movement, trying to get easy looks for guys like Brad and KP, trying to get some easy looks and not have to rely so much on ISO. I think defensively, they're going to try to lock in defensively, create a defensive identity, and have that defense transition into offense. So I definitely think that's kind of what their play style is looking like. What I think it may be. NBA, you say reaction to Kyler Murray playbook requirements. Yeah, that was crazy. That was definitely crazy. It's no way I'm paying you that much money and I gotta put a study even though they took it out because it got leaked. But it's no way I'm paying somebody that much money and I gotta require you to study, a certain amount of times. Like you a child or something. This is a grown man, face of a franchise. And I gotta require you to study. I mean, Zion got a weight. Don't he got like a weight requirement or something in his contract? Don't Zion got something about his weight in his contract? Zay, you say y'all down bad and y'all traded Soto. Yeah, the Soto trade sucks. I will say this about the Soto trade. Look, the Wizards, I'm so used to talking about the Wizards. The Nationals, I mean, they got two of the worst, if not the worst contracts in MLB right now with Strasburg, who I've seen like a total of 2 times since the World Series season. I've seen Strasburg pitch like 2 times maybe? He pitched like twice this season, and I think that's about it. I don't know if we even saw him at all last season. So like, You've barely seen him since the World Series season. That's terrible. Patrick Corbin is god awful. You got 2 terrible contracts, so it was going to be hard to give Soto all that money and still try to build anything serious. Obviously, they must have had a good feeling that Soto wasn't going to come back in free agency. So if you feel like that, what's the next step? Try to get a haul. They moved Josh Bell as well, who was playing really, really well, hitting the ball extremely well. Josh Bell, in my opinion, should have been an all-star. But, if the Nationals had a better record, he probably would have been, because he's been on fire this whole season. They added him to the deal, which I was happy with, because I know originally they were talking about Patrick Corbin being added, and I would have hated that. Like, don't devalue the stuff you can get from Soto because you're trying to get off of a terrible contract, so you get less. I'm cool with adding Josh in there because you really maximize potential value with Soto and a nice hitter, rental hitter in Josh. And I looked at the Padres Reddit, and the Nationals fans asked them about their prospects that the Nats got. And I like Mackenzie Gore. I've seen him pitch before, obviously. Abrams, CJ. He seems cool. And then a lot of the other prospects Padre fans like. So, if you want to if you're going to a rebuild, man, you need young guys to kind of kick it off. So, the Nationals did what they had to do. Also, Mike Rizzo and the Learners took the heat and took the blood on their hands. So, the new owners of the team don't have to have that heat and don't have to have that blood on their hands. As if I was interested in buying the Nationals and I knew there was a slim to none chance Soto was coming back, I would want the owners that's selling the team to go ahead and make that move. So I can come in and try to be like, hey guys, I know what happened in the previous regime was bad, but we're going to change that. So the blood won't have to be on the new owner's hands. So they don't have to come in and that be their first move. You don't want to come in and be the new owners of a team and then trade one of the young faces of baseball. You don't want to be in that situation as a new owner. So the Learners took the heat for that. And Mike Rizzo. They all took the heat for that. But yeah, like I said, the Padres, man, they looked like they was up to the hype last night. But once again, like I said, it was the Rockies. And I think they were facing Chad Cole, who's not that good. So, grain of salt. But we'll see. Those Dodgers-Padres games is really going to be lit. Especially when Tatis comes back. That top, 4, 5 is crazy. Donovan, you said you think you might do a vid with Ed. I did a vid with Ed not too long ago. I may do something else with it. All I gotta do is text him. And of course he'll probably be down. So, I'll definitely, especially during the season, I'll definitely be on there too, for sure. As a guest. Zay said, I don't know what's going on down in Washington. Not a lot of people know, Zay. Jay said Brad would not ask for a trade because the team's failure will be partly his fault since he's the assistant GM. They will move him like KCP said. He heard via ESPN his agent, not the team. Yeah, I think, if the Wizards fail, a lot of it's going to be, a decent amount of it's going to be on Brad because, look, Brad's the guy. Brad is definitely the guy. So if the Wizards fail, it's going to be on the front office. But it's also going to fall a lot on Brad. He's getting paid $250+ million. A lot of it's going to fall on him. Stevie said, I did not know Dirk played 21 seasons. Yeah, Dirk played for a brick. Because Dirk was playing with Luka. During maybe his last season or something like that, Steve. I don't know if you remember. But Dirk was playing when Luka was playing. So when Luka came in, Dirk was still there. Ghana, you said, if you had to compare the ideal team playing style to an old school team, what do you think it looks like? Example, the Spurs. If I had to compare the ideal team playing style to an old school team, I like the Suns. I like the Steve Nash. Mike D'Antoni, Amari Stoudemire Suns. I really like their style. You know, I really like that Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire pick and roll game. I like the offense they ran. I was a big Suns guy, but in the Nash era, Nash Stoudemire era. I would say with Mike D'Antoni, Suns, Nash, Stoudemire. I would say them. I like their style. If we were to go back some years, Brian said under 300, something like that. Lord, 300 is crazy. NBA, you said Twitter bullied the Cardinals so bad that they removed it. Yeah, that because I mean that's a it makes your court first of all it makes your quarterback look bad. Like it makes the face of your franchise that you just gave big money to look bad. So when that got leaked, all the national sports media, all of Twitter is bashing the guy. Is it so now your franchise quarterback is getting bashed, and that probably rubs him the wrong way. You know, and that's not a good start, you know, to whatever you're trying to start and accomplish here. So, yeah. Yeah. Stevie said that's the thing about DC teams. We overvalue our players sometimes. Stephen Ward, now Bill. Yeah, I mean, it's tough what happened with I mean, because Corbin was big in that World Series because I think it was game 7 or something? Corbin came in and he gave him like a couple good innings, like maybe 2. He gave him a couple good innings of baseball for sure. Corbin definitely helped out in that World Series to help him get that. But I mean, he's been regardless, he's been terrible, awful. And then Steven has just been terrible with the injury luck. Even if they kept, let's say they left Strasburg and kept Anthony Rendon. We've seen with Anthony Rendon, he's been on he lives on the IL with the Angels. The Angels fans hate his contract. Anthony Rendon lives on the IL over in Los Angeles. The man can never stay healthy. It's crazy. And I mean, that's why people with Padres, they like, oh, you know, look at the Angels because we thought their lineup was all whatever because you had shows like, what you gonna do? You walk Otani or something. Then you got Mike Trout. You gonna walk Mike Trout. Then you got Anthony Rendon. You know what I mean? So they had a top lineup, a top heavy lineup of just guys who can hit the ball. But, I mean, they got a lot of injuries. Shohei's usually always the last guy left. Trout always ends up getting hurt. Rendon ends up getting hurt. And then Shohei ends up being the last guy. Matt, you said, do you think the Cavs are better than the Wizards at the moment? Yes. I have no reason to think otherwise. The Cavs, even though they fell off last season, a lot of injuries. Colin Sexton, injured. Ricky Rubio, injured. I remember Lauri Markkanen at one point hurt his ankle really bad, injured. Jared Allen, injured. They had so many injuries, bro. It was insane. It was insane, bro. I mean, so to have a lot of these guys coming back is going to help. I know Colin may or may not be back, but I know they had a lot of injuries, so getting healthy again is going to help a lot. And they just got a really good team. We're going into a second year of Evan Mobley, who already looked amazing in his rookie season. Another year of that. Jared Allen's back. Darius Garland, Markkanen, all these other guys that they have on the team, man. They got a really nice squad over there. And hopefully for their sake, and I like the Cavs too, so hopefully they stay healthy this season. Because they got the injury bug bad last year. So yes, I'll say they're better than the Wizards at the moment. I gotta see it. I gotta see otherwise. Alexander, you said the Nats had to trade Soto, not trading him or trying to pay him as much money for him as Commanders and Wizards moves. Yeah, like I said, it was a move that they had to make when they realized that their chances of keeping Soto was slim to none. They had to go ahead and make that move. They said they weren't trading him, you know, since they still had his rights for like, 2 more years? They said they weren't trading him unless they got a massive haul, and that's what they got. They got a massive haul. You look at what a lot of guys, analysts around the MLB said. They said the Wizards got, I keep saying the Wizards! They said the Nationals got one of the, you know, the biggest trade haul package that they've seen. You know, they say the They say the Nationals, I keep saying the Wizards. They say the Nationals they did a really good job. They say Rizzo actually did a pretty good job, as far as not budging unless he got what he wanted for Soto. So, there you go. I was surprised Cruz didn't get moved. I guess it wasn't that much activity on Cruz. Nelson. But yeah, I mean, they're a rebuilding team, and hey, they've lost a lot of names, but you got Josiah Gray, you got Kelbert Ruiz, you got Mackenzie Gore, CJ Abrams. You got some guys now, man. You got some guys. Then they just drafted a kid, Elijah Green, and then they have like the worst record in baseball, so their next draft pick is looking to be really high and really good. So hopefully they can get the number 1 pick. So I mean, they're going full rebuild. I mean, like I said, they picked a side. I mean, a lot of it because of it, they were forced to, and that's what happens when you sign bad contracts. It pins you down, man. It really does. But Soto gets a chance to compete. I don't know if Soto even returns to the Padres when it's time to hit free agency, but they got him for a couple years with Tatis, and that's exciting. With Manny Machado. So that's exciting. And I mean, the Nationals got Luke Voit too. Somebody who can knock the ball out the park. So they got a vet in Luke Voit as well. Matt, you said I definitely miss you on the Lock podcast. Yeah, that was definitely, fun times at times, bad times at times. Like the Clippers game. I was on that joint raging. Anybody said reaction to Watson's suspension? I'm not surprised the NFL is appealing that. I'm not surprised they're appealing that. What was it? 8 games, right? NBA, it was 8 games or 6? It was 8 games. What was it? 6? How many games was it? Suspension. He was suspended 6 games. Yeah, 6 games. And yeah, I'm not surprised that the NFL is appealing that, because naturally the Heat, they're like 6 games, it's going to be a lot of heat, and there's going to be a lot of public pressure on the NFL to, be like, oh no, Calvin Ridley got suspended a whole year because he tried to hit on a couple parlays. They're going to start comparing certain guys' suspensions for less egregious acts, and then you're going to talk about Deshaun Watson and what he was doing, and he only got 6 games, but Calvin Ridley got a whole year for betting, and it's like, and he wasn't playing, so it's not like he was out there selling and fixing games, and then you get Deshaun, who was doing all this with women, and now you get into, the NFL doesn't care about women. The NFL still isn't serious about the protection and seriousness of and putting their foot down and whatnot about all that. So, naturally the NFL is going to appeal and try to make it a longer thing and whatnot to try to save face on this, because 6 games, you knew people was going to be hot. 6 games people were going to be hot. So I'm not surprised they appealed. I'm not surprised the NFL appealed. They said Roger Goodell wouldn't be handling any of the appeal stuff with the NFL, from what I just looked up. But yeah. I thought he may get like 8. I thought he was going to get around 8 or something like that. 6 is like, that is kind of only a little slap on the wrist. That was a lot of masseuses, man. Who goes to that many different masseuses? Don't athletes and guys have like specific... Shoot, even when you go to the barber, you only got one barber. You don't go this barber this week. Next 2 weeks, you go to that barber. The next 2 weeks, you go to that barber. Even the basic human being, the basic 9 to 5 man who get his hair cut, got the same barber. Why you got so many masseuses, bro? Cause it's crazy. Dub, what's going on with you, bro? He said DC is a small market team, so they give big money to loyal guys. But mostly the injury luck is so bad and the contract itself is bad. And most of the players around are bad. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely the Wizards, and I said with DC teams and injuries and sometimes big contracts, they don't work out. You know, you look at the Commanders, Redskins at the time, guys like Albert Hainsworth. You look at Wizards with John Wall and that contract, how that turned out. You look at the Nationals with Strasburg and Corbin, how that contract turned out. Capitals, I'm not too keen on. I don't know if they really had any bad big contracts. I don't know about the Capitals. So yeah, DC definitely has had some rough luck as far as contracts at times. But on a positive note, the Mystics are playoff bound. The Mystics are playoff bound. So when the playoffs start, I definitely will be watching those games. I always watch teams like the Capitals, the Mystics, and whatnot when they're in the playoffs. I don't usually watch that many regular season games, but I support all my DC teams when, except for the Commanders. We don't do that here. I support all those DC teams, when it comes playoff time. Obviously, the Nationals and then the Wizards as well. W said at least the WNBA team are better. Yeah, they got a nice little squad. They got a nice little thing going on over there. I don't know why Ted can't get it right with the Wizards like he got it right with the Mystics. They pretty good. They look pretty set over there. Steve, you said, I think we are putting too much bad stock in our team because of last year. It was because of bad chemistry and players out for their own agendas. It was toxic. Neto, Berton, Spence, Trez, TB. I mean, yeah, I do. But I do think that's something you have to make sure won't be an issue to this season as well. You said no production for them, no arguments and fights. Also, not being undersized. Yeah, I mean, you got guys who do have contracts coming up. I brought this up before. Rui Hachimura is going to be a restricted free agent. He's going to be looking to get paid. Kyle Kuzma is going to opt out. He's going to be looking to get paid. KP could very well opt out. He's going to be looking to get paid. Will Barton's an unrestricted free agent after the season. He's going to be looking to get paid. You do have guys who have contract talks in current negotiation and coming up as well. So, guys are going to be looking to get paid. Guys are going to be wanting to play well, so hopefully, I think consistent winning cures all. But if the losing starts, I think we start to have that issue again, because you got guys who got contracts coming up, man. But if you win, the winning kind of holds back all the, negative stuff, because when the Wizards were winning, like 10-3, there was probably complaints and like people were feeling certain type of ways and whatnot, like for sure. But when they started free falling, oh yeah, now it all starts to surface because it's like I'm not getting this and we losing. F no, because when you winning, it's like man, you mad, but it's like all right, at least we winning, we looking like we make it to the playoffs. But if you start losing, nah, bro, I ain't getting what I want and we suck. Nah, I'm speaking up. It's like that, so. Definitely. I think as long as the team is playing good, I think the hostility, the agendas will be, yeah. It's like the 2018 Wizards with Austin Rivers and all that. It got bad. When you start losing, a lot of the issues come to the surface because people are unhappy and you suck. So a lot of the issues start to rise. But when you're winning, people have issues, but it's a little more tame because, at least you're a winning team and whatnot and you're competing. So it's a little more, you can hold it off a little bit longer. Stevie said I got us being 5 seed or 4 seed. That's very optimistic. Very optimistic. I mean, I would hope so. I would love for that to be the case. I really would. But, that's very optimistic in my opinion. You said Diddy deserves that $789 million 5-year contract. You know what I mean? What are you doing? Brady said if they have a winning season, all them guys are coming back. I think they will do pretty well this season. Just my opinion. Yeah, I hope. Like I said, all the guys who are more optimistic and a little bit more optimistic than me. My guy Steve, my guy Jay, you Brandon, Kevin as well, who's missing another stream, and he's gonna comment and be like, "I missed another stream, and I posted it," but he's gonna, like guys like, I hope you guys are right. I really do hope you guys are right. I would love for the Wizards to be 4th seed, 5th seed, exceed my expectations. That would be a beautiful thing. I wouldn't be angry. I wouldn't be on here mad because I'm wrong. I'd be on here happy because I'm wrong. I'm like, wow, the Wizards actually proved to be wrong. They made me look stupid. I love that. I love that for them. I want you guys to be right. I really do. I don't want to be right talking about the Wizards will only be a playing team and whatnot. I want to be wrong on that. Maggie said the big question is when it's time to possibly re-sign Rui because it will show us what direction Ted is going with for all these young guys. And I think they want to keep Rui because of that Japanese market. They got Rui on the Mystics, and then they got Hachimura on the Wizards. They really tapped into that Japan market. We got the Cherry Blossoms, all that. I think the Wizards want Rui back. And a lot of it is because the logistics of things and the Japanese market is a big market to be tapped into. So I do think they want Rui back. But I don't know. Stevie said, yeah, but I don't think we have those type of players. You know how some teams kind of fall back. Atlanta did it last year. Charlotte did it last year. I think Charlotte falls back. Like I said, I think we looked at the NBA.com power rankings yesterday, on what's today? Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. On Tuesday, we looked at the power rankings. The Wizards were 11th. They were behind the Knicks, above the Hornets. I agree with them being above the Hornets. I feel like the Knicks and the Wizards are there. Are interchangeable. Yeah. You say I just think 2 of those 3 teams that were in the top 8 are going to fall back this year. Always happens every year. There could be teams that fall off, but the question will always be, did the Wizards do enough to jump up and replace any of those teams that have fallen? Did the Wizards do enough? Will the Wizards stay healthy enough? Just because some teams fall off, that does not automatically mean the Wizards are naturally the team that's going to jump up and replace those teams. That doesn't automatically mean that the Wizards are going to be the ones that replace 2 or whoever of those teams. Just because some teams fall off a little bit. You are right that there are teams that fall below expectations. And there's some teams that, rise above expectations. But the Wizards have to, health matters. As we've seen with the Cavs were one of those teams that exceeded expectations. The Cavs, they were a team that surprised a lot of people, but then they got hit with injuries, and that kind of brought them back down to earth. So you got to be able to stay healthy. You got to be able to field a really, really strong team. They fielded a strong team. Darius Garland was doing his thing. Okoro, Sexton, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley was amazing, an elite player in his rookie season, already doing elite things. They just got hit with the health injury bug, and those are things you have to worry about. Donovan, you said you think Kuz would really leave because he seems like he's a Wiz ambassador. Man, I'm telling you, if the money ain't looking right, there is a high chance he'll leave. Trust me, guys leave teams that they like all the time because they're not getting the paper that they want. You think a guy like Aaron Judge would want to leave New York in baseball to go back to baseball? You think a guy like Aaron Judge would want to leave New York? I think Aaron Judge loves New York. I think he really enjoys playing in New York. But if the Yankees ain't trying to pay him what he want, he gonna split and go to somebody who want to pay him that money. Period. I'm sure Bryce liked DC and enjoyed being in DC. That's where he got drafted and whatnot. But the Nationals ain't giving that money he was looking for. I'm sure Soto loved DC and really enjoyed being in DC. he wasn't getting that money he was looking for. I mean, part of that could have been he ain't want to be with the Wizards either, but money talks, man. Money talks. Money talks. Maggie said, what teams in the East do you think would slip off this season? Who could slip off this season? I think a team that could possibly maybe slip off, a team like maybe the Bulls could fall back a little, not too much. DeMar DeRozan was like an MVP caliber player to start like that first half of the season. And he ended up falling off a little bit, but DeMar DeRozan was playing at an insane level. Y'all remember that? DeMar DeRozan was playing at an insane level to like at that whole like first half of the season. He was playing at a crazy high level. I think maybe the Bulls could take a step back. The Nets, they got a lot going on. I feel like they may be a team that could take a step back. I already said the Hornets. I think the Hornets take a step back. Even though they were only 10th last season. They take a step back for sure. I think the Heat are solid, Celtics solid, Bucks solid, Sixers are solid. I think the Raptors are always one of those solid teams. You know, like they're a very good owned team. They're a very good coached team. They have good personnel. I don't see the Raptors falling off. They're always pretty solid. They have a really sound, structured organization and team. I like the Raptors. So I think maybe the Bulls and the Nets. I can see the Bulls dropping a little bit. I can see the Nets dropping as well. So I'd say the Nets and Bulls if I would have to pick two teams. I think the Hawks raise up. I like the Raptors where they're at. I like the Cavs to go kind of return back to their form. I think the Bulls with DeMar if he doesn't start off at MVP levels like he was at first, I think the Bulls may kind of fall a little bit in the Nets. But we'll see. Dub, you said if the Wizards will be in the like top 6 next year, I think they can make it a lot on hype and it can bring an all-star teammate, maybe even 2. And if it will, I really think we can contend in 2 to 3 years. That's why I'm all for an all-star player. You know, if they can get an all-star player somehow, if they can find a trade package to go ahead and get them, then so be it. Go ahead, man. You know, I understand people's worries about depth and whatnot and all that, but you know, I'm okay with making a move to raise the ceiling. Gandhi said, what MLB team has a good set of pitchers with diverse skill sets, is fairly young and mainly relies on their speeds and striking out other teams via fielding? I like the Marlins. The Marlins, I feel like, have good pitching. They just don't have a lot of offense. Obviously. Alcantara. I'm gonna butcher it. What is his name? Let me make sure I'm saying his name right. Yeah, I was about to say it's Trevor Rogers. I was about to say Taylor Rogers. Didn't he just get traded or something to the Brewers or something in that Josh Hader trade? But yeah, you know, Pablo Lopez is cool. Sandy Alcantara, Luzardo. All right. You had Eric Cabrera. I like the Marlins. Brewers, they got some decent pitchers. Ashby's cool. Obviously, Corbin Burns. You got Woodruff, who's all right. You know, they got bullpen. They got Devin Williams. I mean, they just got rid of Josh Hader, so like teams like Marlins, teams like Brewers. I'm sure there's some other teams that I'm just not thinking of off the top of my head as far as pitching. Mets, obviously. Mets in their pitching. Carrasco, Scherzer, DeGrom, now that he's back. I'm forgetting his name. I'm forgetting the other guy's name who's been really good this season. He's been really good. Is it Miguel, something. I'm butchering his name. Tyjon Walker. That's what I'm talking about. Tyjon Walker. Carrasco's been cool. Like I said, Chris Bassett's been all right. You know, like I said, Scherzer, DeGrom, bullpen. They got Diaz, Seth Lugo. Mets got a nice little pitching staff as well, and then the Braves as well got a nice little pitching staff with Wright, Strider. They got some decent guys. Steve, you said I felt bad for Bryce the year after he leaves. The Wizards win the chip. See, you just like me, Steve. You just like me. You saying the Wizards, but you mean the Nationals. I was saying the Wizards earlier, but I meant the Nationals. He's like, I felt bad for Bryce Harper the year after he leaves. The Nationals win the chip. I mean, hey, I ain't feel that bad. I mean, the fans ain't feel that bad. He went to the Phillies, a division rival. Tough. Steve, you said always wanted DeMar DeRozan since Toronto. I like DeMar because he's a mid-range guy. And I like guys who emphasize in the mid-range in an era where the three-point ball is valued so much more and is looked at as such a better shot in comparison to a mid-range shot. When you look at the analytics world of sports nowadays. I love guys like DeMar, who could work out the mid-range. KD, work out the mid-range. Chris Paul, work out the mid-range. Love my mid-range guys, man. You know, D Wade at the time, mid-range guy. Love my guys who could work out the mid-range. I really do. Stevie said he would have been a great fit for the Wizards. Gotti said, what trade do you think the Wiz could make? I don't know. I think something for like a John Collins is realistic. I don't know about Sexton. The Cavs want a young guy and like a first. That may be too much for the Wizards. I think a guy like John Collins could be realistic. You know, obviously Donovan Mitchell, unrealistic. KD, unrealistic. But I do think a guy like John Collins that they were interested in is probably the most realistic option because the Wizards may not want to give up a young guy, you know, and a pick to get Collin. Donnie said thank you for taking the time. Oh, no problem, man. No problem. NBA said reaction to training camp. I see some nice catches, man. But training camp. I know it's been some injuries. That sucks. That definitely sucks. But I mean, training camp all it does is really get me excited for the season. Like, I'm ready for the season to start, man. I miss football. I miss sitting and watching Red Zone. I miss it, man. Training camp, all it does, my reaction to training camp, bro, it just gets me ready for football season. It makes me excited for preseason. Stevie said, are you going to watch the Hall of Fame game tonight? I may tune in. You know, like Trevor Lawrence isn't playing. You know, nobody's really playing, Steve. So I'm not watching. I'm not tuning. It may be like on in the background or something. You know what I mean? You know, like if Trevor Lawrence was playing and stuff, and like some names was playing, then sure. For like a couple series, then sure. But you know, usually the Hall of Fame game is for the second, third string guys, and then the next preseason game is when they try to get some guys actually like legitimate reps for a series or two. But probably I'm not going to be that into it. I'll be watching baseball. I'll probably be watching more baseball than the Hall of Fame game. Something that's actually meaningful. Like T. Lawrence ain't even playing. I'm good off that. But guys, once again, we've reached that time. We've been on here for about an hour, man. Chucking it up, man. I appreciate you guys being here conversating with me, man. You guys always keep it, you know, easy for me. It's easy. Like the time be going by. You know, I appreciate all you guys being in here. I know it's not a lot to talk about. with the Wizards, but you guys continue to come in here and support and chat with me. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. It keeps it fun for me. It keeps me wanting to continue to be consistent for you guys. So I appreciate all you guys' consistent support for me and consistently being in here. Whether it's when I stream a little later, when I stream a little earlier, when I'm off. Really appreciate it, man. Definitely appreciate that. I appreciate the likes today, guys. I appreciate Jay, thank you for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that, bro. Dobbins, what's going on? What's going on with you? I mean, we wasn't really talking about nothing. We talking about a couple different things because it's not much to talk about. I'm just trying to stay consistent for you guys. As we move forward slowly but surely, and then get to media day. That's the next step, really. Training camp news and media day. But yeah, next stream will probably be on Saturday or something like that. On Saturday. But yeah, appreciate you guys' consistent support, man. Once again, it means a lot. Like I said, if you want to become a member, like my guy Dobbins, like my guy Steve, like my guy Jay, like my guy Uncle Weeze, if you guys want to become a member like my guys, click the link that I have pinned in the chat box, or if you want to send over a donation like my boy Jay did earlier today, you can do that and support as well. But yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to be you guys being in here consistently talking with me, helping this time fly by, especially when we in the dog days of the off season, where it's just not a lot of news, not a lot of content to talk about in the NBA period with a lot of teams. You guys definitely keep it fun for me, man, and make me want to keep getting on every other day and whatnot throughout this real dry spell, because I want to be consistent for you guys. Definitely, for sure. But thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate all the comments. I want everybody to have a good day, man. Stay safe. I don't know if you're at work, have a good rest of the work day. If you're off, enjoy your off day. If you're chilling, enjoy your chill day. But I'll probably be back on Saturday. I'll put it in my community box as well tomorrow. I'll be streaming on Saturday, probably around 6 after I get off. So probably around 6. But as always, man, appreciate the love, guys. Appreciate it. And I'll be back with you guys on Saturday, most likely. So thanks for tuning in. Have a good day, everybody. Love you all. And W said I'm going to sleep. It's 9 p.m. for me. And have a good night if it's nighttime for you, man. And also have a good night. Have a good sleep if you about to sleep. But all right, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next stream. Thanks for tuning in as always. Love you guys, man. Peace.